I think it's quite enough time to start our meeting without wasting more time. So first of all, thank you very much everyone joining here, and to this topic what it is. And my special thanks to Andras and Anna um, from Hungary and Georgia, and also Anna worked with Andreas in Hungary, and they are also our partners. Andreas and Anna, they were here in India in one of the project meeting of your, and they're also our partners. So I'm just closing few things. It's reflecting on my mic, sorry. Okay. So Andreas and Anna, we are working in one of the European projects, and since we met, we discussed, we found new opportunities, and we are also working with them. They have been to India recently, and we started building up our new relation. Also, our virtual office of EduKerron International, they represent in Hungary. So we do in India of the Hungarian organization ICRP. And thank you very much, first of all, two of you, for giving your time and educate our Indian audiences. They are from various groups, from institutes, universities, maybe a few students are there. I can see a few new faces and few more people who they also joined in the morning for the session, but it's my duty to let others know what we are doing. So we will quickly go with our introduction here of our organization, EduKerron International. So EduKerron International, we are based in Aurangabad, Maharashtra. We are working with more than 50 countries and working with the universities, organizations, institutions. And also, we have recently certified by the uni agents, and we have made our horizon connected to 160 countries. Now our network is in 160 countries for the higher education, for the post-graduation, scholarships, undergraduate programs, short-term courses, everything we do. And we have established recently our offices in Africa, in Nepal, in Russia, and in Europe. Just because our core values, of course, taking initiatives, professionalism, cooperation, critical thinking, and open-mindedness. So today's topic, which is internship in Europe and in Hungary. Also, the webinar is one of our core value. We have given this importance, and that is our open-mindedness. That is one of the core value for our organization. So what we do collaborate with the different organizations worldwide. We provide internship abroad programs to the universities, to the individuals, to the any educational institution, even working professionals. Summer schools, research and development funding opportunity. We do consult universities for the research and innovation funding with the European Commission and other mechanisms, formal and non-formal education, youth employability, international volunteering program, and many more. So this was our first case. I think Siddharth Madhavi is also here from the Sandeep University. So these are the students from Sandeep University, first of our interns who they went to Italy and they worked on a multinational company for 3 months. And that was our first success story. So we wanted to share it with you. Also, few students, they had been to Germany for the internship. Last year, we sent 20 students to Germany and Russia for the summer interns and for the summer school and the trainings in the industries and the organizations. What we do, we also work with a lot of European Commission projects, and we also consult other organizations for how to partner, how to write a project, and so on. Indura, which is India-Europe Research Alliance, this is our research cell where we also implement many research projects for the societal challenges and many things. We also host volunteers and interns in India. So we have volunteering and internship programs apart from the European Commission on our own. We also host interns from all around the world and volunteers also. So we also announce to be our partner if you are not yet, because this is a good opportunity to connect us. There are some pictures with our partners. It's a big list, but few pictures which will show, this collage will show our bit of work with the universities internationally and nationally, with many universities in India and abroad. We have done many exchanges, research and innovations, internship. Well, our existence office is in Aurangabad, India, but we are also now in Hungary, also in New Zealand, Holland, Russia, Ghana, Uganda, Nigeria. So many offices we have established recently to cooperate worldwide for the betterment of the employment and the learning of the youth group. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening to us patiently. Now I ask our partners from Hungary to proceed, please. I take it over to you guys. Anna or Andreas, you can also start introducing for your organization, please. I mean, you can proceed.
Hello and thank you. I'm delighted to be invited and to share information about what I was asked to share about the internship opportunities in Europe and especially in Hungary. And I plan to talk about three things. First of all, the questions that Indian students might ask about the internship opportunities in Europe. And then I would like to shed some light about what those our organization do in Hungary and elsewhere. And also the internship opportunities at our organization in Hungary, in Finland, in Georgia, and also in Africa, if you're interested in so. And my colleague Anna Sarkisyan is going to talk about the online internship opportunities in Europe and at our organization. So again, I thank you, Karen, for inviting us, and I'm really happy to share this information because this thing is personally what makes me happy. To receive interns, to receive people to Hungary from basically all corners of the world, and to help them to develop and to put them into educational projects and provide them more opportunities as well. So this is one thing that we are doing and one thing that we are focusing on. So I was thinking when Karen asked me to give this short video lecture and to share my thoughts about internship, I was thinking that what are those questions that the students from India might ask if they have this thing to go to an internship in Europe in mind. So I was thinking that they might ask where can they find the opportunities, or what are the qualifications that are necessary in order to take an internship, or what to include in their CVs, and what level of language is needed. Also, what are the benefits of an internship? Because probably not everyone is aware of what are the benefits of doing an internship abroad, especially in Hungary, for instance, or in Georgia. And also, I will shed light what is the suggested length of an internship, and how can those people who are doing internship can get a job after concluding an internship program, and maybe what are the chances to select it from India. And I would like also to share some personal stories from our past interns who started with us as a BA student or MA student, and at the moment they are working now at universities as research fellows or embassies or big international non-governmental organizations. So those are the best practices, and those are the best stories that I can share. So let me start with the questions that where can we find opportunities in Europe. I would say that there are four platforms that is worth to try. I think the best and foremost, the most important is the websites that you can access. There are a lot of websites providing internship opportunities all across Europe, mostly in the European Union, of course, and also outside of the European Union. These websites you can find very easily on the internet, just googling.
Andras, sorry to interrupt you. I think I'm getting some messages saying there is no audio. So can someone tell me if we are audible or not? Because I can hear Andras already. I got
Yeah, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, audio is coming.
Yes,
Okay.
you are audible.
I'm getting some messages, so I interrupted. I'm sorry, Andras. Please continue. Thank you.
It's all right. Maybe there is some background noise. I'm living next to the main road in Tbilisi at the moment. I'm locked down during this pandemic here. So.
It's all good. We are all working from home, so not to worry. We can understand the situation. So please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, great. I will speak up a little bit maybe. So yeah, first of all, the websites that are providing internship opportunities, I would suggest to check gooverseas.com. This is the largest collection of internship opportunities, not just in Europe but all across the world. You can find a big variety of opportunities here. But if you want to focus on Europe, I would suggest europe-internship.com. Maybe after the presentation, Karen can share these websites as well, or maybe I can also give a short excerpt of what I was talking about. So this europe-internship.com does include work and study programs, also online internship opportunities, mentoring programs as well, summer schools, and also paid or unpaid internships. It's worth to check it out. It is listing the opportunities from companies directly. It is listing the opportunities for provided by NGOs as well. So it's a big variety of opportunities there. And also noteworthy to mention the national organizations that are also providing internship opportunities to India. For instance, the DAD, this German organization, German national organization that is focusing on providing German lectures and providing German language assistance to those who are interested in learning German, and then later to find a job or find an internship program in Germany. So that is one of those. Also, British Council is one of those from the UK. If you're interested in finding some opportunities in the United Kingdom. So apart from websites, I also think that direct contacts work. They do work. So if you email to organizations and to companies in Europe that you think they might have some internship placements, and please check their websites first, of course. If you think that they are receiving students, it might be a good chance to text them and to send them an email, including your CVs and also a cover letter, and marking that you would like to spend some months as intern there at their companies. Apart from direct contacting, I also could suggest the internship provider organizations. There are many organizations who are now focusing on providing internship opportunities, mostly from Europe, but also from other continents as well. And apart from those, also there are companies. I guess EduKerron can be somehow listed among them. So those are the local companies or local organizations that are helping, that have the international connections and have the ability to put the interns into contact with the provider organizations. So these are the four main platforms I can suggest to start a search. Then if I think about the qualifications that are necessary in order to take part in an internship program, I would suggest mainly three things. Firstly, and most importantly is the language. Knowing of English language is a must. whether we like it or not, we live in a world where English language is a kind of must, and it's not even considered as a foreign language anymore. It's considered as a second national language, mostly all over the world, and especially in Europe. It's getting more important now. So if you have a very good conduct of English, that is a must. And also, if you have an exam, a language exam, that is also a great addition. Apart from that, most providers, most internship providers are asking for from some years or some experience at university. So what they require is a theoretical knowledge, but it's a basic theoretical knowledge that they require. Of course, they don't want only like highly trained professionals, because internship is a kind of training as well. Internship is also a kind of education as well. So no one is expecting the intern to be highly educated or graduate students as well. So undergraduate can also apply for this kind of internship programs. And thirdly, what is more important is the strong motivation. So if the intern has a strong motivation, and if it can be expressed, that's a great added value in the application. And of course, I would mention here that those who are thinking about doing an internship in Europe, they also should check if the internship covers the living costs in Europe. In some cases, living costs can be high, especially in Western European countries, where like average salaries are like 3,000 euros, and the living costs and the renting for a flat and basic food is quite high. So if the scholarship doesn't cover the living costs, you should also think about the how much own resources you can utilize, and you can put it into you can put it in your internship period. So writing the CV, as I mentioned, there are some important elements that you should mention in the CV as well. First of all, the language. I really encourage those who have a language exam or a level of English knowledge as high level as possible. Apart from that, apart from the language, also the knowledge of IT tools are very important. And I'm not just talking about Microsoft Office. I'm also talking about the recently developed online platforms such as WordPress or Canva or whatever. There are a lot. There are a myriad of programs and softwares and applications that are available and that are worth to learn, at least on basic level. And apart from the language and apart from the knowledge of IT tools, I would also include in the CV the former experience. Whether you were working at a small retail shop or a bar or whatever you did for a living, it could be mentioned in the CV. Even though it is not closely tied, or even it's not closely connected to the topic and to the field of the internship program that you want to take part in, it's worth to mention. You can never know when you can utilize those experience and those skills and competencies that you gain to your former experience. Many times when I receive inquiries from students who want to take an internship position at our company, they mostly ask about the length of the internship. This is the hardest question for me to answer this, because I mostly think it varies by the field of study, and first of all the field of study, then the availability of the intern, and third, the availability of the provider, the internship provider. So the most accurate answer is that it depends on. But what I always suggest to our interns and to our applicants is to try to do as many things as possible during the internship program. So once you get admitted to the internship program, please tell your students to be open for every task that are available, because sometimes we can never know what we want to do later in our lives and what we want to focus on and concentrate on. So in our case, I suggest 2 months of internship program, but this is just our case. We are focusing on social sciences. We are working in the social science field, so in these 2 months, the interns can focus on all the things that we can provide them. Probably in other fields, it's different. It's a different duration, but still, the most important thing is that just to focus on as many things as possible and to try out as many things as possible. Regarding the tasks and the duration, again, I can tell you an example. I can tell you a personal example of my friend who started as an intern in Hungary. He's from Nepal, so it's basically from your region, and his name is Abiral, and he found us on the internet. First, he spent some months in Turkey as a student. And as a Turkish student, he was eligible to come to Europe, and he was eligible to come to Hungary and to spend some months. I think it was 2 months to spend as an intern in Hungary, and it was paid by her university. It was paid through his university, financed by the European Commission. So he came to Europe, from Nepal to Turkey, and from Turkey to Hungary, and then he spent 2 months there. After 2 months, we extended his internship period, and he tried to be involved in every aspect and in every task we were providing him. He was doing it with joy and with passion. So at the end, he stayed for 1.5 years. So he started for 2 months and then ended up for 1.5 years. And during that 1.5 years, we sent him to many other countries as well for trainings and youth exchanges to try himself out, of course. And during this time, he also started his PhD, his postgraduate education. And then during the end of his internship, he went to Norway. So he ended up in Norway at another university. He started to study. And now he's back to Nepal now, and he's working for one of the big NGOs in the country. So I think this is one of the success stories that I can mention. And this is also something that is related to the region that you are also living in or coming from. So about our organization, and just a little bit specify what we are focusing on. I'm representing the Institute for Cultural Relations Policy. This is an organization that is based in Budapest, in Hungary. And this organization is aimed at strengthening the cultural relations by fostering scientific education and the public discourse of international and cultural relations. We mostly carry our activities through education activities. What we do is basically threefold. We organize events, we do publications, and also we conduct international projects and programs such as the ones that EduKerron is also involved in. A little bit more details about the things that we are doing. As an example, that what you can expect if you decide to apply for an NGO or for an international organization, also for a national organization that is accepting interns in the field of social sciences. So I mentioned events firstly. So we do educational programs and projects, mostly large-scale projects, large-scale events, such as a series of conferences that we do every year. We have an annual conference series called SESCO, Security and Sovereignty. So we are focusing on mainly those two topics. And this is a conference open for scholars and for researchers that are focusing on this topic. Apart from that, we also have small-scale events like roundtable discussions and also debates and sessions with invited speakers, mostly diplomats, who share their thoughts about some recent international developments and issues. Apart from events, we have publications. We have many. I think 6 or 7 type of publications. Let's do the count together. So we have a most importantly a magazine that is published every month, in which we focus on the recent developments of international relations, culture, and economy. This is completely written and edited by the interns that we have. Apart from that, we have a journal that is published quarterly. And in that we host academic articles and academic papers and essays that are reflecting on recent developments of international relations or the theory or past or historical events. Apart from that, we also have a blog in which our interns can express their opinion about recent international developments as well. We have a series called Human Rights Issues series, in which we try to focus on some international events that somehow related to human rights. And also, we publish individual research papers. So if our interns have any essays or papers or some written documents that they think that it would be worth to publish, but doesn't fit to the blog, doesn't fit to our magazine, doesn't fit to our journal, and doesn't fit to our human rights issues series, we still can publish it as an individual research paper on the website. So this is something that they might feel as beneficial for them as it could be later put it in their CVs as well. And thirdly, and most importantly, maybe, or you could also be interested in that we have a vast international programs that we are involved in, mostly youth exchanges, trainings, seminars, partnership building activities abroad. Those are financed by the European Commission or what we have here in between Hungary, Poland, the Czech Republic and Slovakia. It's called the Visegrad Group. They also have a fund that they're providing money and funds for educational programs. So if there are students and interns coming to Europe, they are entitled to take part in any European Commission funded projects as well. And this is very important because if you decide to come to Europe for an internship and to spend some months there, it's also possible to have multiplied scholarship. It's also possible to have multiple funding from the local governments, from the local municipality, from the university, from or through the organization that you are working for. So I also encourage people who would like to spend some months in Europe as an intern to also look for another internship, another funding programs and opportunities after arriving to Europe. It could be a never-ending story. Yes. Also, a life learning experience is something that is going on. So, why I suggest to be an intern if someone is interested in particularly to do an internship with us. If someone is interested in international relations or world politics or want to gain experience in these fields by working for a non-governmental organization, then an internship opportunity at ICRP could be an ideal start, actually. Because the objective of our program is to offer students who have diverse academic background, relevant experience in their future to be field of employment. So we can also provide a real chance to utilize what they learned so far at the university, by providing them opportunity to organize events that I mentioned, international conferences, small-scale events as well. Also to make interviews with experts, with politicians, with diplomats as well. Also, we provide them opportunity to write articles. We teach them also to write articles, blog entries. So at the end of the internship, they will come out with a list of publications already that can be again included in their CVs. So regarding the eligibility criteria, maybe that's also important to mention at our organization. If someone is interested in taking part in an internship program at ICRP in Hungary, in Budapest, or its affiliate organizations in Finland or in Georgia or in Ukraine also, or in Mali in Africa, then these applicants should be students of at least entry-level professionals of journalism, social sciences, social studies, law, economics, international relations, political science, all these related fields. And a good English, a good knowledge of English is mandatory, and also good communication skills are required for those tasks to be done that I mentioned. What we can offer to interns is, I think, fivefold. First of all, there is a research that they can conduct. So it's independent studies that they're doing regarding cultural relations policy. Also writing and editing the ICRP's special editions publications in the human rights issues. Also writing articles, blog entries, interviews, and the magazine's articles as well. Also editing of those, and then event support and development, and like working to support international conferences and do some research on that. Also public relations as well, like communications, anything related to organize an event, and also some information collection and data analysis for the organization's online resources. And why I suggest to take part in internship. And again, I just can mention our organization as an example. Of course, you can think about some other organizations as well, but ours can be just an example for it. At the end of the internship period, the intern who was interning at ICRP at my organization will be able to conclude and publish articles on current issues of international relations, and also cover in-depth analysis of concerning cultural relations policy. During the internship period, the intern will have the chance to meet diplomats and scholars. We have a huge international advisory board that is consisting of diplomats, ambassadors, ex-politicians, professors, and we invite them also from time to time to convene and to join our to our events that we organize. So I think and I believe that the internship at ICRP helps strengthening the professional skills of students. So what we need specifically is 3 things: CV, a cover letter, and everything sent by email. So basically 2 things sent by email. And regarding our internships, just keep in mind that we are contacting only shortlisted candidates. So don't be surprised if you send your internship application to some companies or some organizations and they're not contacting you. Don't give up. Try again, send it again. First, send a reminder if they don't accept you and they don't answer. And then they will send an email if they accept you or not. But if they still don't give up. There are pretty many organizations and companies that are ready to open internship positions for people outside of Europe. Also, what is important to mention that our internship is voluntary; it's an unpaid one. But there are opportunities. In some cases, there are some programs that can help to finance your stay in Hungary or in Georgia or in Ukraine through the European Commission, mostly Erasmus, but first you will need to have an active student status at one of the member countries of the Erasmus Plus program. And of course, there is an agreement which is signed with us after being chosen for the internship. And we will have to specify the dates, the starting and ending dates of the internship. And I have to mention that the applications to our organizations, if you are interested in taking part in the work of ICRP, check the website for it, culturalrelations.org, also culturalrelations.network. You can find the opportunities there, and we accept applications on a rolling basis, so continuously. This is the internship that can be done in those countries that we are active in. But recently, and because of the coronavirus pandemic, recent coronavirus pandemic, we also decided to open up opportunities online. So our vision was to do to extend our internship and to make it available online for those who cannot make it to come to Hungary or to Europe, but still want to make an experience and to make the internship experience, and also to gain the benefits of an internship program. That is an online internship, and that will be introduced by my colleague that I'm working with on it, and she is from Georgia, although she's working also in Hungary. She's on a Sarkisyan, and I will just pass the floor to her to continue with the online internship program.
Just a second. I know. Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Can you?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, Anna.
Amazing. Thank you. First of all, good evening, since as I understand it's already evening in India, and I already can see some familiar faces, those attended our conference in Aurangabad in MGM University, and I'm very happy for that, which means that young people and students are following EduKerron Edu, through which we can also do our internship program, and now I'm sure that they're following all of us. So I will talk about the what kind of skills should interns has, what companies and organizations are requiring. I know my colleague already talked, but I will talk more a little bit in the details, and at the end I will offer and talk about the online internship program on which we started working recently. And the interesting thing is that that idea came to our mind after we had a work visit in India with NGO doing our Key Action 2 program there. So I will start with the skills, and then how to find internship all across the globe, and also how to contact us. So itself, internship in Europe doesn't mean being in one country. It offers the chance to build an international network. First of all, Europe has most open borders between countries. So it means that while you will do your internship in one country, of course, you will also be able to travel across the Europe. I'm mentioning this because I know many of the students, and for many of them, traveling and seeing the world is also an important part. So although Europe was hit by the global economic crisis because of the COVID-19, the economics in many of the European countries are still robust, and many countries have retained their leading positions in a variety of the fields. First of all, now I will talk about the internship. What benefit can it give to you? How can internship help your career, and what's the best way to get one? So an internship is a pre-professional work experience that provides students, recent graduates, and those seeking the change career with the opportunity to gain experience in a particular career field. For students, internship also supplement academic classes, and in some cases earn college credit. But of course, first you should make clear with the organization, whether it's NGO or any other type of the organization, if they're able to give you credits. For example, our organization is not able to give you credits for your college or university. Internship also allows you to test the waters in a variety of career fields to gain real life experience for your future job. Important question that students the students ask is how to find internship listing. If you're currently a student or recent graduate, your college career services or internship programs office is a terrific resource to use to line up internship. The office can direct you to internship targeted including those sponsored by alumni, partners, and friends of the college. Also use internship finders or internship search engines, as my colleague already mentioned a few websites. Those you can use. I will also link in the chat at the end of my speech. Take advantage of social media, of course. Make sure you follow companies you'd love to work for. Most organizations, as also we, nowadays post information about available internships work on their social media profiles. Visit the local career centers if you can find such, and speak with the career counselors. They can tell you everything there is to know about the internship opportunities in your area, because this is the best place where they gather and accumulate all the information. Talking about the qualifications, those are necessary for the internship, are very depending on the positions you're applying for. But there are a group of skills that potential employers want to see in an intern. So I will talk about skills those everyone is seeking to see in their interns, such as, for example, communication skill. Communication occurs in a variety of ways, but future employers are primarily interested in your ability to write and speak professionally. You have the opportunity to demonstrate your writing skills in your resume and cover letter that you will send to them, and your verbal skills as you supply thoughtful answers to the common interview questions you will likely to be asked. During your interview, you also mention your experience giving oral presentation. The ability to communicate effectively, to translate ideas and convey information is key in any field. And I will go to the second most important thing that companies and organizations are looking in their interns or future employees is the interpersonal ability. The ability to communicate effectively is often related to one's ability to relate well to others. Depending on the industry, you may be interacting with clients and vendors, as well as your coworkers and managers. It is important to be able to build and maintain relationship and be kind of a person that team members want to be in the office with. Interpersonal skills are also important because employers seek individuals who can identify the wants and needs of the others, and who can organize and acknowledge the value of differing perspectives. As an intern, you're likely to collaborate with other interns and company employees also. Your ability to communicate and relate well to others is certainly important for collaboration, as in the capacity to work with others towards common goals. As a part of a team, you will have to understand your own strengths and weaknesses also, because we all have weaknesses besides our strengths. So you know how you can contribute your best to the work of the organization. Other thing which is way important in the era of working online in different time zones is time management, because we all are coming from different cultures, and I believe that our work is also somehow depending and is connected to our culture. If you've managed by now to successfully take full course of load every semester and meet assignments deadline to some extent, you have already demonstrated time management skills. But as an intern, you're not going to have a syllabus or to tell you what and when to do. It is up to you to organize your time and produce results. Employers want to know that you can prioritize responsibilities and recognize when it is appropriate to multitask or focus on particular project at a time. Also, adaptability is an important skill. Towards a work culture, whether you're hoping to intern for a startup or well-established organization or NGO, often requires to wear multiple hats and be in a different roles. As an intern, one day you may find yourself supporting one team, and on the other day working with completely other team doing different type of the work. While you may have an interest in a particular aspect of an industry, a willingness to become familiar with the different parts of organization is definitely is viewed as an asset. Again, critical thinking, it refers to your ability to analyze and evaluate situations or issue and a form of a judgment. The tendency to think critically can be demonstrated by a willingness to ask questions and be active and ask many questions. Basically, you probably have also like it's very similar to your classes, right? When student is asking more questions, everyone thinks that that student is more interested to the topic and is being active. Same is in the case of the internship. The more active and the more interested you are, you will be viewed as someone who is more interested in the work of the organizations. Hence, you can be viewed as a potential employee also. Also, if you're completed any research papers, I think my colleague already talked about this. If you have conducted any projects in your universities, you should show it and talk about it also during the interview with the organization where you're going to do your internship, or if this is interview for your job. Remember that wherever you are applying for internship, you have applied to gain knowledge of a field and professional experience. But that doesn't mean you don't have anything to offer. Your potential employers will appreciate the chance to bring someone on board who doesn't have to wait to receive directions for every little task. So remember that you have to be also initiative and bring up your offers. While talking about that initiative is important, it is also important to be ready to receive your feedback and understand what is your weakness and develop and work on this. Lastly, I will talk about the technical proficiency, which we know that we live in the age and era of the technology, and even lectures are now online. You certainly won't be expected from the organizations to be an expert in whatever platform they're using for their work. But you should know your way around the computer and your ability to navigate with basic productivity software to use your software skills. I wanted to say this much about the skills and chances, how to get an interview, and what skills you should have, and what will you gain through your internship. As I mentioned, now I would like to talk about our online internship program. As I already mentioned, we had a visit to Aurangabad and India in January, and we came up with the idea of online internship, since it's not comfortable and available for everyone to spend their internship in somewhere Europe, because besides the many things that you have to do to be enrolled as an intern, there are also financial issues that I understand that not many of the students might be for not many of them it might be available. So now I will present our idea about our online internship program. So what is virtual internship? Call it what you will. It can be a remote internship, virtual internship, online internship. It all means the same thing. You will be completing your internship without a commute and directly from your own laptop. When combining a remote internship, many of the same aspects of the traditional in-person internship still exists, including meetings with your supervisor or team members, completing a mix of individual and group tasks, and learning about the overall culture and work methods of the organization. I will not mention what can we offer to students, what kind of writing academic papers, blog entries, and so on. But I will mention who are eligibility criteria. So as it was mentioned, applicants should be students or entry level professionals of journalism, law, economics, international relations, political sciences, or from the related fields. A good knowledge of English is mandatory, since we work only in English language. Especially it's important when doing virtual internship also. I will underline here the digital competencies are advantage, but of course not mandatory. You can learn it when doing your internship, but it would be really nice to know how to use Word, Excel, PowerPoint, video creation programs. As I mentioned again, these are not compulsory tasks, but we encourage you to use it because through our internship programs, we usually like to include our interns to our projects. Those are Key Action 1, Key Action 2 projects. So in work on this, during the work on this project, usually we need to use such tools. So in the responsibilities of the intern, already was mentioned that they have to do research, writing and editing, writing articles, but besides that, they have to participate in online platform activities offered by the supervisor. Again, these online platforms are part of our project, part of our EU and not only EU projects. We usually are having different courses, different online courses where we would like to include our interns. And also they should participate and initiate online lectures, courses on different topics. Regarding the courses and topics, I would like to mention that we, with a group of the interns, those we will have, we can come up and understand the needs, and according to that needs have lectures where we can provide lectures and professors from the European universities. Keep in mind that, of course, as it was mentioned, only shortlisted candidates will be contacted, because with the time difference and our staff is not also that big. We have to be able to conduct weekly meetings with our interns and many other works. So after being chosen, our intern will sign an agreement with us, which means that they will have to carefully read it and fulfill all the points mentioned there. And then your application should be should specify the period of your internship. What else I would like to add is the benefits that you can get through your internship with our organization. It is you'll not gain only dynamic work experience and knowledge, but also it is an invitation to be a part of our internship community through weekly group discussions, webinars, and alumni support. You will get professional development support with an assigned internship supervisor and coaching calls. Global connections, of course, since our interns are from across the globe, as Andras already mentioned. We had interns even from Russia. I'm not even mentioning the European countries, some Asian and African countries also. By internshipping in our organization, you will also have opportunity to travel. Sorry, this part is not for you. You will have opportunity to take recommendation letters. Usually those are asked for your job, to give a characteristic to you. And of course, at the end of the internship, you will be able to get the certificate from our organization. If any of you, I would like to just mention here, I linked the organization in the chat below. You can find it and get the details about the internship. And of course, if you will want to your internship, you will be able to do it through EduKerron. So firstly, you will have to contact EduKerron, and then with our cooperation, we will cope with this. I think so far I had to tell this much. If any of you have questions, we'll be glad to answer your questions.
Yeah, anyone, do you have any questions? Yes, Dheeraj.
Ma'am, I want to ask one question, that that online internship is having any specific period or any specific duration?
Thank you. Yes, we suggest our interns to spend at least 3 months of online internship in our organization, which means that we choose that period. Yeah, so we usually offer it to be a 3 months period because it is the least amount in case of being online intern to give you possibility to learn what we do, how we do, be engaged in different projects that we do through online communication. So we think that at least it is a 3 months, but you can do it also longer. If Andras would want to add something.
Yeah, I mean, this 2 or 3 months internship online can provide you the chance to try out everything, and also maybe we can involve some of the. I mean, this was not among the things that we shared, but maybe we can also involve some people who do online internship in the projects, in the mobilities, and maybe also they can travel elsewhere. Sure. This is our aim. I mean, I cannot promise at the right now that we can host people here, those who are doing the online internship, but we aim to do that in the future. So our main aim is to involve in mobilities all the interns, because this is a nice world to see outside, and hopefully this pandemic will be over very soon. And I just would not like to focus on Hungary and to the opportunities that we can do in Hungary, but also elsewhere in other countries.
Andras, informative. Thank you. Anyone else? You have a question? Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Kiran sir, Srikant this side.
Yes, Shrikant, please go ahead. Shrikant
Right.
is a training and placement officer in one of the biggest university, which is based in Pune, and he's also a good friend of mine. So Shrikant, please go ahead. He's a training and placement officer, of course.
Thank you. First of all, thank you very much, Andras and Anna, for the wonderful session and information. This is a general question like anyone of you can address. Suppose for a case you have opportunity for an internship in social science or journalism or basically non-technical aspect. So is there any constraint for technical students to take part if they're interested for the same?
Yes, if you don't mind, Anna, I can address this. Okay, so not our organization, of course, but yes, there are myriad of opportunities in Europe, and what I can see now is that there is a big need for workers, especially for engineers and what is the name? I forgot that special field in engineering, but yes, there is a big need of a workforce in Europe, and I personally believe that the best way of that is to the high skilled jobs. So if you have a university degree or if you have a university or a good experience in a field that in which there is a need of workforce. I can also mention countries which are Germany, most importantly, Austria, that are taking currently students to these countries with the aim of providing them later placements for work. So I would, and I also forgot to mention that when you are looking for an internship or when someone is looking for an internship position, should not only focus on the countries, but mostly focus on the field. So yes, there are fields in which there is a big demand for interns and a big demand for workforce. And to be honest, our field, social sciences, is not the most popular one. So we have to face this issue that the least students are coming from social science fields, but the most ones are coming from engineering, from technical students, from technical fields, and also it means also that the most available positions and opportunities are for those students actually. And what I would like to add is I coming from Hungary, I'm from central or eastern part of Europe, let's say. It's also a nice part of Europe. I also would offer to join these countries: Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, Bulgaria, Czech Republic, because I see that most of the students tend to go to Western Europe, to Germany, France, the United Kingdom, but there is also another part of that continent, which countries are also part of the European Union. So it means that if you come there or if you send students there, at the end of their internship, they can say that they did their internship at an EU institution or EU member countries institution or organization or company. So yes, just to, in a nutshell, I would mostly encourage those with technical skills and with technical scientific background to do research for an internship. And this websites that I mentioned, they also provide a lot of opportunities for them.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andras. And I think, as I mentioned previously in our morning session, that India produces more engineers in the world, like 10 lakhs, like 10,000. So mostly our majority of interest for the internship is the engineering background, management, and information technology, robotics, mechatronics, so such all technology-based ICT, like software development. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, Shrikant, I believe, and then the business management. So yeah.
No, sir, you're absolutely right.
what I can add also is to email directly to companies, especially now we can see this process that most of the Western European companies, big companies, automotive industries, is putting their production into Central Europe or to Eastern Europe. For example, in Slovakia is one of the biggest automotive industry in Europe, and also Hungary. So there are a lot of engineers are needed in those countries. And we can also see that there is a migration of workforce from Hungary, from Slovakia, from Central Europe. Workforce is migrating towards the West. So as a consequence, we need workforce. We need skilled workforce, especially in these technical fields. And these companies also announcing that they need high-skilled workers already in these countries. So again, what I can suggest is to email directly to companies as well.
That's really great of the opportunities, Andreas. Anyone else? Do you have questions? Please be open. It's a good opportunity to talk to them directly.
Thank you, and thanks Andras and Anna for this interactive session. I'm Dr. Santosh Patil, Deputy Director from Manipal University, Jaipur. I would like to know, because as a faculty or a international person, means working in an international office, many students do come and request us for the list of internship opportunities, and also because of the COVID situation, many have this query like how the internships would go from here onwards, and what are the safety point of view, the travel point of view, the visa point of view. So there are many questions which we face from many variety of students, since MUJ, Manipal University Jaipur, is having engineers, non-engineering background, technical, non-technical, both. So my request would be if we can get informative information from where can we find this list of internships, or kind of what are the prospects of these internships, requirements. Such informations can be found out so that we can forward to the students. So that would be very helpful.
Andreas, if you don't mind. Yeah. Okay, Santosh, first of all, thank you for asking the question. And I would also say, Santosh, we met in Jaipur, in Manipal, and I'm glad to announce that we are also signing the MOU with the Manipal Jaipur, which is one of the biggest university in that region, and there are many different universities. Well, apart from this, as you asked, Santosh, the COVID situation, I would honestly say, we are the people who they are working on the ground zero. But as you said, that the fear or the worry about the COVID-19 situation after the pandemic, of course, there are organizations, for example, WHO or the local government in those countries, the Ministry of Health, they will definitely give us the guidelines in all the sectors, and probably we will be following that. And of course, being a responsible organization, we will also keep an eye on such announcements by the government or the health agencies or the companies, because of course when they apply for the internship or company wants to accept the interns, they give their do's and don'ts. So they give the more updated information, how they want it, when they want it. So we don't have to worry about that, that we will keep updated with our partner organization like Andras and Anna. They are there to support for such information. And of course, for the internship, at the beginning of the session, Andras has informed us some websites, but the thing is, of course, there are differences. You can find opportunities there, but also direct contacts make more easy our task, that I believe. So if we have local partners in those countries, we can, first of all, the trust part, because Indian parents and Indian students, they want the transparency, they want the security, So it's always good that if we have local partners with whom we are already working. For example, with Andras and Anna, we met already. They had been to India in Aurangabad at our organization. We had the meetings, we were working on the projects. We know them, they know us. And that the trust level we have, and the potential partnership we have. So it is always better to be connected with such organization, to have such opportunities for the students, for example, internship or the summer school. But of course, digital era is there. You can also find online many opportunities. But then again, question is about the the safety and security and the transparency. Andras, do you have anything to add on to this, or maybe Anna? If not, then Raj Deshpande will be the next person to question. Yes, Andras, please go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks for sharing your email as well as the invitation. It was nice interaction to understand. Before just I would like to introduce, I'm Professor Narad Deshpande, Training and Placement Officer in Gokhale College of Engineering, Nashik, from Maharashtra.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I think I interacted with Anna also, I think at Sandeep Foundation. So it is great that we are getting this platform and would like to avail same platform to our students also. So thanks for sharing. And my suggestion is that if you share the information, I email also, whatever the discussion.
Yeah, we will do that definitely.
Platform today. So
You have
to share.
Yes, the contact information we have already sent in your email, and again we will send you the email and contact information. That will be done. Any other question you have, Mr. Dhanraj Deshpande?
Yeah, no, sir. Thanks.
Okay, Andras, you were about to say something. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just a quick remark about, and maybe as a future suggestion, just to join the previous question. What I think the most important is information. So what we should do, or what we can do, is to create a database of available opportunities, or a database at least of available partners that you have, that EduKerron has in like I think 50 countries already you established. So maybe there are some organizations, for example, we are one of them, to whom students can directly turn and ask questions and ask for information about internship placements in Hungary, in Georgia, in Ukraine, also in other countries as well, as we are also familiar with other countries. So what I can suggest is maybe to involve already some students or already some volunteers that you have, and make a database of organizations that can provide internships for different for students coming from different fields and having different kind of educational background. So I think this is the most important thing, and this is the cornerstone of the cooperation and some future cooperation of an effective internship program, a vast internship program that can be available for Indian students.
Okay, that's a good idea. In fact, I request all the attendees here, especially training and placement officers, they must be having already some database in which field the majority or the most demanding internship are being requested by the students. So if you have such information already ready, so please, forward us. We have shared our email already, so you can forward on that, and we can look into it, and we start working on that. And also we will try to find opportunities case-to-case basis. But it will be nice that we should have, most demanding internship opportunities students are looking for, or the organizations are looking for. Andras, am I right? If next ending to that.
Absolutely, I agree. So I think we should make our first efforts to make this database, to make the information available, and then if the information is available, then students can choose from there, because otherwise it would be really difficult for them to start their researches.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Last one, if anybody wants to ask. And even if we cannot complete here, you can always email us for the question and answer. You have my contact phone number, email ID. You can also, the same number is of WhatsApp number. You can use that, so that won't be a problem. I also share some information if you want. I will quickly just make a screen. with my contact details, who might they might not be having it, so they can contact us. So any other question, last question from the audiences or the attendees?
If there is any more question that were not asked here and during this webinar, we are ready to answer through email and also WhatsApp. So you can also find our contacts, and also I would be happy to answer and to help you, and also my colleague Anna will be happy to.
Yeah, if you can see the screen, people, this is my WhatsApp number. If you want to contact me on WhatsApp, maybe I won't be very quick since we're occupied with so many things, but we will try to, you know, give answer, or maybe you can email us, or also I also request you all to check the website what we have of the EduKerron. Then you will come to know where you know, the potential of working with other organization. So you can note down here the contact details. So Andras, I think we have a very beautiful session here, and I hope everyone enjoyed it in terms of knowledge sharing. And I thank you everyone, especially Andras and Anna. Thank you very much for taking time for the support for this session. And definitely I will also get back to you if some sessions or some questions arose. Then we will keep continued. One of the organization already asked, they have 8 organization here in Maharashtra state. They also asked if we can also manage to attain another session. We will talk personally. I will talk about this personally because I got so many requests to have such session, informative session. So we'll talk this personally. But thank you very much, everyone. And if Anna and Andras has to conclude with something, please.
I would want to thank everyone who attended this meeting. Just wish you to stay healthy and have productive months.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm happy to be invited again, and I have to share those things that I was giving to you. And I was happy to see you, Karen, and also some other faces. Yes. And I will be again happy to see you and to be contacted. So thank you.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much, and have a good time. Stay home, stay safe.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, Kiran and Andras.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.